if you are.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live right now on Crowdcast.io. If you ever want to watch the show live, that's a great way to do it. If you want to watch replays of the show, you can go to YouTube and watch it over there. Search for the Blackout Tips. Like us, follow us, give us a thumbs up. All that stuff over there helps. We monetize that channel, so we get a little bit of change out of that, little pocket change, but every little bit helps. The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
an unofficial sport,
bullet ball,
and bullet ball extreme. And today's episode is a feedback episode. Over the last couple of weeks, we've done 5 episodes, and we said, you know what? Let's give the people some let's give them what they want. Let's give them the feedback. Let's make sure their voices are heard. So this is where y'all write in, let us know what y'all think, what y'all feel about the things that we said and whatnot, and then we respond back to you. It's a nice little cozy family circle unit, and we just all huddle up and we go, how you doing? That's all. We just checking on each other. And don't forget, right now our Black Friday sale is going on. The link is in the show notes. You can get a year of the Blackout Tips for $100. That is $8.33 0.33 a month, which is like less than everything costs right now. And you get so much. So I hope y'all are signing up. I see some of y'all are signing up. I see some of y'all are changing from $15 to like, oh, hey, I could get almost half off of my monthly subscription this way. And I don't blame you. I appreciate y'all. It helps us when y'all do that.
Yeah, and shout out to the people that seen it last year. Was like, you know what? Auto renew. Shout out to you. Yeah. You were prepared.
And once again, if you have any questions and stuff, just email the blackouttips@gmail.com. All right, let's get into this feedback show. Feedback. We're going to talk about the people that gave us money, people that voted for us and left comments on the polls, people that left comments on our website, the people that emailed us, the voicemails, and the 5-star reviews. We're going to get to all of that stuff today because y'all be leaving. That's what y'all do. Mm-hmm. Okay? Y'all be leaving in us by leaving them 5-star reviews. All right, let's talk about the people that gave us money, though.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's Own, Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tied to the Blackout Tips.
That's right. New day, pal. New PayPal. Let's talk about this money. Asia D with the recurring donation. Chriselle B. Annie P. Annie, are you okay? I think so, because you're still giving us money. Tom W. Michael S. I forgot the last person. Hold on. I gotta go back. Our girl Jane. Shout out to Jane. Noel W. Bomani J. Bomani Joe, y'all know him. Rita May C. Laura E. Nicholas Z. Pete B. Sonia B. Douglas R. Johanna M. Ricky A. Pretty Ricky, what to call him. David from Brooklyn. Thanks, David. Kavis D. Laura F. Chris from Hawaii. Brianna F. April G. Corey the Tickler. Tabitha M. We also got Alexis H. Wanga from Down Under sending us money all the way from Australia, mate. Good day. Tanya S. Marlon B. Dot Street J. Shirley Wong Esquire. Please say the Esquire always. Tiffany B. And then lastly, Dana R. That was the person I skipped earlier. My bad about that, Dana. But yes, those are the people that gave us the monetary means to establish this thing. Thank you so much. It's about to get funky. Let's get to the other thing we love to talk about: 5-star reviews. People that went on Apple Podcasts, said, I like what y'all doing, and I want to give you 5 stars. And there were a few of y'all in the last couple weeks.
Yay!
New fan from May50 who says, what's up, y'all? It's not often I come across a podcast that's still casting. I've been listening for a little over a week and I just heard your most recent cast that said no 5-star reviews. I can't let it go down like that. So here's 5 stars. Keep doing what you're doing. Also, your House of Dragon recaps is what started me to watch the show. Spoilers and all, it's still good. I look forward to y'all to get me through my workday. 2 strong arm emojis. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Pinnacle Podcast. This is by Logor Finn, who says Rod and Karen consistently discuss the issues of the day with a refreshing nuance in this conflicted world. Listening to this podcast will teach you to be humble, laugh, and enjoy the world. Their series reviews are pure joy, whether it's House of Mouse, Rod's Mickey is the best, Them Dragons, global affairs, politics, social issues, or entertainment. You can't miss with the blackout tips. Skip the negativity, get your news and gain insights. Listen to this podcast. Also, Rod and Karen are hot. Thank you. Oh, listen to all this love.
Right?
Y'all are the best. This is by Alden N, who says, hey, Rod and Karen, I've been listening to you two since 2018, and I finally am leaving a 5-star review. Yay.
Come on through. It's right on time.
You guys are my favorite podcast, and y'all always stay on top of the spot of my Spotify Wrapped. I listen to lots of other podcasts, but when they all release episodes at the same time and it gets overwhelming, I choose what to listen to. I skip other podcasts just to listen to you two. TBGWT gang for life. Thank you, Alden.
Thank you.
Gang is what we say over here. 5 stars on Kage and them. I believe that's what it's spelled, Kaakge. Just refreshing my review. Gang came for the jokes, stayed for the love. Oh, 5 stars all around, David. And the original review is, it's time to give Rod and Karen their flowers, damn it. Not only do these two lovely people embody the epitome of black love and comedy, they also give great book recommendations. These two intellectuals have given me hours of entertainment and stimulating conversation. I wish Rod and Karen nothing but the best on all their endeavors. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication. Sincerely, David. Thank you, D Money.
Thank you. Come on through with the update.
We got this one from Appia in Germany.
Oh, snap now. If y'all let Appia outdo you, shame on you.
I'm just saying, we international.
Shame on you. Come on through, Appia.
We internationally known, is all I'm saying. They got me high. Here is your pal, Appia. I learned about the blackout tips on KTG and got addicted. It's funny and smart show, and it's better research than many big publications. I highly recommend it. For me as a European person, it's possible to get a glimpse into real American life. What? You don't just go to the doctor when you are sick, give them your card, and never have to worry again about bills? Not in America. No, we don't. It's still great, and enjoy the live feedback shows. Thank you, Appia.
Thank you, Appia.
All the way from Germany?
Yes, come on through, Germany.
Sleeping 1982 says, the black and otherwise goats of podcast. Been listening since 2010, 2011-ish. Woo.
Ooh, you've been around a hot minute. What, a year? Maybe after we started?
I think we started in 2010.
For the same year?
Yeah. It's been some time since my last review, so it needs to be said again. These niggas are the hardest and funniest in the game. And it was with the clappy emojis, like, are the hardest. All facts, no printer. Fight your mama. Love Rod and Queen Karen down and put everyone I know onto them because they good. Blue heart emoji from Sleepy 1982. Thank you, Sleepy. These were great. That was amazing.
Oh, come on through 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And it don't matter when you leave it. You leaving it right on time. And thank you for the people that update. And I'm still looking at the people who still haven't left well yet. You know who you are. Y'all let Appia come in all the way from Germany, leave a 5-star review, and y'all stay on the same continent as we do and didn't leave us no 5-star review. Shame on you.
Yeah, give us a 5-star review from wherever you at.
Wherever
in
in
the world. We would love to see that. So thank you. And make it your 5-star review New Year's resolution or your Christmas present to us. I know we have an Amazon wish list at the end of every episode that I know people around this time of year typically sometimes want to like get us gifts and stuff, which we appreciate. No pressure. But
if you ain't got the 5, you can do the other 5.
You can always leave us a 5-star review. Cost you nothing but a little bit of time. Free 99. All right, episode 2633. Oh wait, I need to play a song or something because I always end up having to go back and try to find places to put commercials into these feedback episodes. That's jamming. Fast Color is what that one's called. Infrared Crypto. All right. Let's get to these comments. Episode 2633, 1 million tip in America's pack. We had some comments, 6 comments. Dr. Uzo82 says, hi, Rod and Karen. You and or your listeners that you and any of your listeners that use insulin or know someone who does should know that thanks to the American Recovery Act, monthly insulin costs will be capped at $35 starting in January 2023. As a physician, yes, that's the doctor part of my handle is real. My patients and I have been excited to finally have this life-saving medication actually be affordable.
Right.
Thanks, Joe Biden. Yes.
Come on, do it, Joe Byron.
Appia says, Rod, I don't have many eggs in my kitchen because after the birth of my first child, my body decided I can't eat them anymore.
Oh no.
I get real bad stomach pain for hours and even red spots on my skin.
Wow.
Man, pregnancy is weird.
It is, like you say, it is really strange. You get a certain type of diabetes in only pregnant women. It's certain things where they go, well, this only nobody else gets this but pregnant people or pregnant persons.
It's just weird because it's like, oh, you just had some fertilized eggs come out. Well, you can't have none go in. But yeah, this was not fun as I liked them before. Sometimes forgot that eggs are in the dish, like with a mousse. A small amount of mayonnaise might be fine because it's highly processed and the proteins in it are denatured. But now my body developed a disgust for everything with eggs. Is quite interesting from a psychological angle. So that's how far away from American mayonnaise white I am. I'm allergic. Well, what's interesting is that Appia thinks she can survive the apocalypse. And if you can't eat eggs, you can't survive the apocalypse. There's gonna be a lot of eggs in the apocalypse. And they're gonna be all over everything. Door handles, it's crazy. She says, as for a sandwich, I like to put sambal oelek on everything, on a cheese sandwich with tomatoes, for example, or I do back Camembert cheese. I put grapes in it. I don't know what sambal oelek is. I don't know if we have that here. I'm gonna Google it real quick.
I probably don't. If we do, is it like a
oh shit? No, I do know what this
is. A specialty store.
No, I've had this before. It's like a hot spicy thing with the rooster on it. Ground chili paste. I've used it in recipes before when I cooked around here. I've never seen anybody put it like on a sandwich as a spread, but that sounds good. All right, back to these comments. She also says, I campaign for the creation of a new category of white, the non-American white, like African American, but the opposite. It's not that we don't have, for examples of racism. We do have racists here for sure, but things are different. One, we don't for the most have guns. 2, the Christians here are way softer and don't spread hate in general. 3, we didn't have slaves, lots of other terrible things, but just not this one. 4, pretty much everyone rich or poor goes to a public school because they are mostly good. 5, our police don't kill people of color or people without color so much. You can shorten it to, no, think about it at least. Not American whites, rejected. No, you still are white people. Nice try, but
well, you can't separate yourself out the group.
I feel like for a lot of this, y'all started these white people that we have over here. They came from y'all, and y'all put them on this path, and now y'all trying to act like them. We don't know them white people. Slave. The term slave starts from Slav, which is Slavic, which means they were so down bad they were slaving white people to start everything. So like, no exceptions. Y'all go into the right basket. That's how they get you. That's
ain't no white off white.
That's how you end up in the fucking Get Out house and shit. Thinking, oh no, these white people is cool. Nope. Let's get back to the comments. Bamil says, every time you talk about Kanye and his anti-Semitic ramblings, this inappropriate meme or cartoon idea pops into my head. I would never try to create it or release it into the world, but I'm sure other people have had the idea before. It could be that I've seen something like it before, but don't remember is actually seeing it. Anyway, it will be a white man in a Klan regalia or on some neo-Nazi skinhead looking pensive while listening to an anti-Semitic Kanye or Kyrie rant. And the thought bubble says, this nigger spitting. And it has to be the hard R for it to work a mill. That's funny. The poll, has our show ever made you laugh out loud in an inappropriate place? Yes or no?
Great question.
Huh?
I said that's a great question.
Yeah, yes or no? 77.55% say yes, while 11% say no. And if you go to
Now they didn't laugh, they just didn't laugh out loud.
well, I think also they might not have been an inappropriate place. Which is why I think the Spotify poll is an even higher percentage of people laughing in an inappropriate place because they have the money. They be in inappropriate places more often, corporate boardrooms,
the meetings,
first class,
Microsoft
private
Teams,
jet, exactly. So they have a higher percentage with 89% and 11% saying no. The comment for the show was, "Watch out there now." And Renee Leslie says, "Thanks for looking out for me." James Clay says, the beat nuts agree with that statement. Watch out now. And Raphael says, I just wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate your points about Anger 100. Thank you again, as always. Watch out for my ghost kitchen coming on Twitter soon. Watch this. And lastly, we did get comments on YouTube. Let me see. We got one. Chocolate Lady Cap says, I have to revisit y'all Vice episode. I think I knew about y'all before I found you on YouTube. Well, yeah, we were featured in Vice when they were covering Black people loving Game of Thrones, and they came out to the house. It was such a cool experience.
It was.
Shout out to Firestarter podcast because obviously Dem Thrones came from them, and then just on Twitter, I know I was one of the people that helped popularize it, but that whole thing wouldn't have happened without that inspiration and them coming to the crib and talk about with us about the podcast and about the hashtags and all that. Was such a fun time, man. I'm glad Black Twitter got some flowers before Elon Musk tore it down. All right, let's go to the next episode. The next episode is 2634. It's called Racist. No, it's not a word, but that's what Karen said.
I made it up. It made sense.
Marlon says, we work from home, so there's really no such thing as vacation. I know that sounds weird, but when you're working from home, you're always on. I don't think that's weird at all. I that's something I've said from the beginning, which is if you work from home, you're never not at work. Abia says, I've seen some clips from SNL last week, and it was okay when it comes to jokes. But again, I'm not Jewish. Add some German people killed millions of Jewish people remark if you want. I'm annoyed by his nonstop smoking, I must say. Rules are not for Dave, I guess. She's talking about Dave Chappelle stand-up. I want to say, it's been a couple weeks since that stand-up came out. His opening monologue for SNL. Have y'all noticed no one's really mad about it? Really, people were mad that night, maybe 24 hours later.
After that,
in general, no one's really that mad, and I think it's not because people didn't try to be like, this is why this is offensive or this is why. I just honestly think people are not that. He didn't go that hard, and people didn't feel the need to I don't know. It just felt like for the first time in 4 years, Dave Chappelle did a stand-up that wasn't specifically about crossing the line into something offensive but not funny.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that because he's talking about Jewish people. He's been talking about trans people. I'm not trans. So it's not just a matter of I'm not in this group, so I think it's funny. It's just some of the jokes had a subversive level to them where part of the joke was on him being wrong and it being silly and people's racism being silly. Part of the joke was on Kanye and Kyrie. I don't know. It's a much better set than he's been doing. That being said, I'm not gonna fight anybody about it because I thought it was good and entertaining, but I feel like it's also kind of designed for people to go off if they want to. And if they want to go off and be like, you shouldn't even make jokes about this shit, then they're totally in line. I'm not in that group to tell them not. But personally, just watching it, it felt more like an old Dave Chappelle than the last 4 specials he did. Ramsey D. Jenkins says 5 years for Nick Cannon and me joke. 5 stars. Oh, thank you. Pamela M8 says, I got loads of vacation time that I have to take because I've been at my company for decades. I'm like you, Karen. There's nowhere I need to go, especially while this panorama still going on. I can sit in the house, sleep, read, watch TV, bake some goods, do some puzzles, whatever. I'm perfectly satisfied on day 1 because I'm not going to be all up in that bitch for 5 days. See y'all when I get back on Monday. Appia says, maybe I shouldn't say anything about vacations as a European because I have 30 paid vacation days in a year. That's and wonderful. Some extra around Christmas. I'm sorry. Cool. My life is still very stressful with 2 kids and really tough jobs, so hate me less. Girl, we don't hate you.
Ain't mad at you at all.
Let me tell you something about this podcast. Okay, I can't speak for these other people. I can only speak for myself, really. But we not envious, hateful people like that. If somebody else got it good, unless we're just completely joking, I'm not the type to be like, oh, why you got it better? Like, dope, man. I aspire to fucking have a life where I can be like, I'm taking 30 paid vacation days.
Shit, that ought to be the standard here in the States.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna get jealous over that shit. Dear Rod and Karen, I would like to remain anonymous for this review. First, I want to thank you and Karen the thanks you give. I want to give you and Karen the thanks you deserve. Content creators often have a thankless job. You and Karen always keep me in good spirits when all the run-of-the-mill life stuff drags me down. Second, I thought about sharing something with y'all because of your commentary on elections. I'm a paralegal in the military. I'm privy to a lot of derogatory information against soldiers in my unit due to my position. I often do the groundwork and evidence gathering against soldiers that commit crimes or other things that require us to administratively separate them from the military. If you get separated from the military before your contract is up, your characterization of service can change between honorable, most favorable, general, which means your service was mediocre but not too bad, and other than honorable, basically meaning your actions were reprehensible but not worth the resources for the government to take you to court. There was one soldier stationed at Fort Bragg who participated in the January 6th insurrection, and his unit wanted to separate him with a general characterization. When my supervisor informed me of this, all I could think about was how you and Karen emphasize the importance of holding people accountable no matter the cost. We should have taken him to court, but the military has a policy to discourage discharge of soldiers for civilian offenses when they have already received a form of civilian punishment, like a fine, jail time, or community service, etc. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But the most important part is showing the people who are watching that we are willing to try. A lot of older white men in charge do not understand the importance of it. They try to sweep things under the rug, which is why the military has a lot of issues with sexual assault and racism.
Right.
I remember how you guys read an article from the Rolling Stone about the Army cutting ties with a soldier who said he only joined the military to learn how to kill black people. What the article did not tell you is that there are soldiers in the same unit openly walking around with Nazi uniforms on. The FBI ended up investigating him and a few other people. They found pictures of a couple of guys with flags doing the Hitler salute and operating an extremist troll page. The FBI agent that investigated him that said they would need to investigate 300 plus people in order to be thorough. And I have to deal with these people every damn day.
Right.
I really just want to thank both of you for your diligence. I don't think I would have had the courage or mental fortitude to continue dealing with this bullshit every day without y'all. Keep fighting the good fight. Oh, wait, before I head out, I just refreshed my 5-star review. Fuck Arby's and sugar does not go in grits. Much love. Thank you.
Thank you.
And yo, absolutely. I feel you. And you are fighting the good fight. Like you say, we fighting, we just talking. You're actually
come on, we just talking.
You're actually helping from the inside to declutter this bullshit. And it's super important because I know one of the big initiatives that happened under Biden when he took over was trying to get these people out of the fucking military. And you got conservatives and Republicans crying foul, just, oh my God, they get rid of all the woke military is destroyed. But it's like, what do you mean though? We should have white supremacists in our military? We need people that do Hitler salutes in our military?
Right.
No, they got to get the fuck out. So thank you. Evie says, I enjoy my vacation on day 1, mainly because most of my vacations are staycations where I stay home and do absolutely nothing to sleep in. So where is this coming from? It's from the poll. The poll was, when do you start enjoying your vacation? because we had read that article that said most people don't until day 3 or later.
Mm-hmm.
Day 1, 53% of our audience starts enjoying their vacation day 1. They
Me
deplug.
too. Fuck that.
Day 3 or later, 16.3%. It takes them day 3 before they can really start enjoying it. And 30% said vacation, which I'm sorry.
I'm sorry you ain't got no vacation time, baby.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, I absolutely kind of feel the people that it takes a couple days. I think especially depending on what you do, and what you're responsible for on your vacation. Like travel stresses me out. Making sure you get your accommodations and your booking just straight. Some people go on vacation they already meeting with people day 1. They out, they doing shit. Sometimes I'd literally need like a day to decompress just from fucking the stress of travel and anxiety of like, oh, I hope the card works. I hope this works or whatever. And so sometimes it can take me a couple days until I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I'm not responsible to anyone or anything now. I can just go out and do stuff. And I think also people that do the organizing and the paying and all that stuff, it's a little different for you on the vacation. Other people are just like, I'm just here to do whatever. And you like, I'm here to make sure that it's a seamless transition of us hopping on a plane and, hopping off in another state or country and going to a resort and going into our room and reservations for dinner and all that
make
stuff.
Sure nothing goes wrong, right?
Yeah. So I can see how that might change it too. For the poll on Spotify, 62%, so it's higher, start enjoying it day 1. And I think that's because when you're rich, you have a lot of people doing the organizing for you. Like Brenda
said, you get the concierge to do it.
Brenda, organize my trip to Aruba, and that's it. 8% say day 3 or later, and vacation. 30% say they don't take vacation. Let's check the comments on YouTube before we do the final comment on Spotify. So Carrie Moon 1 says, can choose to be negative Ninny or not. I choose to celebrate. They kept the Senate. They kept our Democratic rep in our district, despite Ohio Republican gerrymandering attempts to steal constituents away from her, and remain hopeful Georgia comes through for Warnock so we can have more than just a very slim majority. Send a message. We want overwhelming majority over them in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Tissy with Fee says, the new B is flames. Love it. The N in the H says, they definitely set it up for Abigail Spanberger to lose. They did redistricting in VA in 2021, and this is one of the first major elections to see the changes. I was in her district previously, but no longer with the change. The Democrat in my district unfortunately lost, but glad Abigail was able to keep her seat. As always, enjoy what y'all did. Yeah, Spanberger is a big win, and just proof that like the people online do not know what they're talking about. The culture wars between AOC and Spanberger, a lot of people took that shit in the most offensive way possible, tried to make it seem like Abigail was just leading the party to destruction. And at the end of the day, she pulled out a victory that a lot of people did not see coming after she told us exactly what works in her district and why it wouldn't work in AOC's district, but AOC shit wouldn't work in hers. And she was right. And I think that's why a lot of times I give due respect to the people on the ground and not just what's working on Twitter. One of the biggest issues I have with politics is so much of it takes place in theory on social media, and it's by people that don't have to convince anybody but the people that follow them on social media that they're right. But when you talk about rubber meeting the road, getting out into a community and convincing people, it's hard. And the people that do that work deserve some fucking respect. And the politicians that find a way to win, who then go on to support the agendas I believe in,
right,
when their votes, I'm okay with whatever tactic it takes for them to win. They're not cheating. They're just telling y'all this is the thing my people can respond to. My constituents vote when I talk about blank. They don't vote for me when I talk about this other thing you want me to say. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't either. And different parts of the country experience different things. The language of the people are different, which people don't understand. Yes, we all speak English, but there are certain things that can work up north that will flop down south. Ask, what is it? The Jamie dude who was running down here in
Jamie Harrison.
right. He got, and people talking about his money. He got all that motherfucking money. People ship money, sent money from all across the country, and he still lost because the campaign that you run does matter, and the people that you're trying to reach matters too.
Yeah, it's not easy. But yeah, shout out to that. And lastly, from In Harmon says, enjoying the informative information. Heart emoji. Thank you. The comment on Spotify was, keep your windows rolled up. Creasy says, especially if you're hotboxing. Aaron says, insert Rihanna rolling up the window gif. James says, I don't have time for any of this road rage nonsense. As someone who has high blood pressure, I don't need any more drama on my black health. I'll remain peaceful and living my best life. Dizzy Lizzie says, anytime you get out the car, you've escalated. Keep the windows up and remain in your car.
I keep my windows rolled up and my air on. Fuck that nonsense.
Raphael says, now, if you've seen a beggar chew out and sometimes spit at people in traffic for giving him coins back during my teenage days in West Nigeria, you keep the windows up. Racists never had a chance.
Wow, I did not know that. Ugh.
Lee says, most definitely in some parts of the city, the whole outside just smell like weed. That's funny. I'm like, well, they roll the windows down. Anyway, the next episode, it's time to get to the next episode. Oh, hey. Episode 2635, January 6th, part 2. We got 3 comments. Appia says, congrats on the 2nd season of Game Theory. Even if when you said no feedback show, I was a little sad. I really enjoyed listening live to it on Saturday. But I understand. I wish you lots of success. Today, I learned that I will be the host/presenter for our cardio franchise kickoff convention in January with 300 to 400 attendees. I applied on a whim when there was an internal request and got it 2 days later.
Come on through, Appia.
Okay, Appia. I count this as the Blackout Tills bump. Okay, this count as the glow up here. You start fucking with us and good things happen in your life.
Come on, all types of promotions.
So I am also talent now in the most humorous category ever, corporate entertainment. Well, make sure you get a rider and tell them to get you some green M&Ms or whatever.
Start making demands.
Yeah, what was that sauce you was talking about? Get that.
Make sure they had that spread in there for your sandwiches.
Yeah, I want that spread. The pink superhero says, the faces of the children in the video of the racist Texas teacher broke my heart. They look so sad. Yeah, it's man, that's just being black in America. It's like all of us dread the day that you have to look up and your children, the next generation has to have the same awakening and realization that you had about racism and how it's going to impact your life, and the authority figures you've been told to look up to and look for guidance are going to be some of the same people that's like, no, I'm racist. I believe this racist shit, and I'm in a position of authority over you and your academic career. Evie said, Evie says the racist teacher probably doesn't think he did anything wrong. I don't think he does think he did anything wrong. I think he thought, I'm just telling y'all the truth, that my job is to educate you, and I'm just here telling you a truth that you don't understand yet. That's how it felt to me. But yeah, that fucking sucks. It says, and sadly, he will probably get hired at some private religious school. It is Texas after all. And after the election results, that state seems to be a lost cause. I mean, why private? Why not just another public school?
Yeah, another county. Yeah.
If anything, there's somebody probably called him that night, like, hey, we got an opening. We're going to fire one of these CRT teachers and get you in charge, buddy, because you tell it how it is, okay? It's not racism if everybody thinks their people is the best. Are you going to watch the Grammys, yes or no? 14% say yes, which means 86% say no. But it won't stop them from complaining. Okay. Shout out to Nick Ju. You know how they do, girl. I know you listening. They don't even be watching the shit, just all on the timeline hating,
fussing.
All right. Let's go to the comments on Anchor, Spotify. And the poll I meant, as 16% yes, 84% no. So basically the same. Basically the same. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Okay. And then let's talk about the comments on YouTube for January 6th, part 2. We got 3 comments. S. Carter Thomas says the conservative media has a new guy, Ron DeSantis. Republicans are still down with Trump, too many, but their media has started to turn. So now mainstream media is starting to be more snarky and truthful. It's all an ish show. I can see that.
Yes, sir.
LB says, LOL, that shirt Rod got on. I got to cop one soon. Shout out to Thomas. And that's because I was wearing my We Was Goose shirt.
Shout out to Bossy.
Yeah, shout out to Bossy. Why the Label American podcast says, I thought Rod was going to end with the just because they naked doesn't mean they don't have a sword. Naked Samurai coming to theaters near you. All right, I'm getting off the internet. Enjoy your break, guys. Love you too in your work. Thank you.
Thank you.
And lastly, the comment, the quote for episode Q&A, give us the money, Bezos, was what we said. Ignacio says, I will take Jeff Bezos money. Miss Mary Smile says Vallejo is in the Bay Area in Northern California. Okay, didn't know that. Mecca says, yes, Daddy Bezos, give it up. Nelson says, shit, if he giving away money, throw some my way. Ernest says, actually, I can think of a relatively new political action committee that could do some real good with these funds. This message approved by 1 million tipping Americans back. We are Legion. Raphael says, tell Bezos that I'm black and bald and know how to generate tears on the spot for $100 million. My ex-girlfriend named Charity. I'm reconnected with her right now. Let's do this, Jeff. I believe in space too. And Keisha says, give me some, Jeff. This is why billionaires continue to rule the world, is because at the end of the day, all our morals is like, yeah, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, let me get some of that money. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, you really bringing back slavery, but calling it Amazon Prime, that's real fucked up. But for $100 million, I'll take some of that money too. You know, it's nice. I mean, honestly, what was you supposed to do? They was gonna slay themselves. Episode 2636, the Take Backsies Law. We have 4 comments. Justin says, not only did many countries not have the infrastructure to hand out the vaccine, not everyone in those countries were going to take said vaccines. Exactly. I have multiple family members in the Caribbean who would never take the vaccine. Unless they really felt like they were going to die or if they got a chance to come to the U.S. When you talk that fact for years, you have people saying the U.S. has been murdering black people in Africa with fake vaccines. You have a bunch of people who would never take a vaccine developed by an American country. Yes, that's something that never really came up in the whole, like, and I think even the good people in America, we are very myopic. We still kind of can't get past the idea of America as the center of the universe. We run everything. Everything good is so you're a good American, right? So you're like, I'm a whole America accountable. But then you start getting into this weird narcissism of America where everything bad is also America's fault, which sometimes shit is bad and it don't really have nothing to do with us. Or shit is bad and we can't be the ones to fix it, you know, because it becomes like everything is America's fault or everything is America's responsibility to fix. And it's like, well, these are people we're talking about. There's a lot of people who are like, I don't trust America if they come to my country with a quote unquote solution. There's too much other shit that's happened for me to look at y'all as the problem solver. For some people just want to be left the fuck alone. Some people are like, but when we do the math and these numbers, a lot of times we're like, these poor countries have this many people in them. If we send this many doses, it's like, well, now a couple years out, we can talk about the fact that you sent those doses and they didn't get used.
Right.
So maybe that wasn't the solution you thought. And it should have been kind of writing on the wall. We all should have saw that coming when we couldn't even get Americans to take all the doses.
Right.
Like doses were going to waste in America. Who made it? So if Americans don't trust it, and many of them being white people that really don't have a reason not to trust it, they ain't trying to kill y'all. Then you know it's gonna be other countries that can't trust it. So Appia says the Pfizer vaccine was developed by two scientists of Turkish origin in Germany. I know German people are also known for murdering people, Holocaust, as Turkish people, Armenian genocide, just on the other continent. So that's not really helpful. But I'm also not sure if it's on other countries to convince the vaccine skeptics that vaccines are safe. It's not like this is working out great at home. I don't see what else can be done besides offering the vaccines for free. What else can you do? I'm with you. It's not, because even if you go, well, a lot of the corporate structure and the actual like making of the vaccine physically was in these other countries, like America. And then you go, well, it was invented by a German and a Turkish person. It's like, oh God, there goes some more shit. Like, it's just, I think people that are skeptical are going to see skepticism wherever they look.
It's just they're looking for it.
Yeah. Himdale says, hey y'all, first, I don't understand the Chris Brown bullying. And it just reminds me that people only want restorative justice when it applies to them. I don't know Chris Brown's body of work like some younger folks, like some folks younger than me, and he just wasn't my guy R&B wise. But I know that my relationship to our culture, that dude makes good music and can dance his ass off. And I would have liked to see his performance, which I would have caught on YouTube. I ain't watching no award shows. Hope he would release his planned performance separately someplace so we can all choose to see it or not.
It's actually online. Like, I think
he did.
Yeah, I think some people. I seen snippet. I don't know if it's the whole thing, but I did see people posting like cuts of it, saying like this is the performance that would have happened, because they've been rehearsing.
Oh, so they posted the rehearsal, not the okay. Yeah, it's interesting because somebody did float. I think that maybe it was a Michael Jackson thing and not a Chris Brown thing. Like, they didn't want to put, because it was going to be a Michael Jackson tribute he was going to do. And so they were saying maybe they didn't want a Michael Jackson tribute at the award show because something like Aaron Carter just put his book out, or Aaron Carter, who died, has a book coming out. And one of the things is he's accusing Michael Jackson of abuse in the book or something. So I have no idea if this is true.
Right.
The other thing I thought that sounded somewhat plausible, and this only explains certain elements. I'm going to go back into why it doesn't explain the whole thing. But one thing that was plausible was Chris Brown had that moment with Robin Roberts we covered, where he went and broke all this shit in the break room during like when I think she was interviewing him on like Good Morning America or something, right? Whatever the ABC version of that is. And this is like the first thing, according to them, this is like the first thing he's done with ABC since. So maybe someone shut it down on something like, nah, fuck him. You see what I'm saying? Like we haven't had a chance to have a say in this thing with Chris Brown for however many years, because he ain't been working with us. But now that he's back here trying to work with us, we about to shut it down. Now, once again, that doesn't really satisfy the whole thing, because number one, why'd you invite him in the first place?
Right.
Why you wait till he was already rehearsing? Seems stupid to me.
Right. It's like, well, if somebody felt this way, they felt this way the entire time.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
just not doing it at all. Even with the Michael Jackson shit, why did you even do it? Somebody trust y'all had a meetings. I've been in corporate America long enough to know that y'all had meetings on meetings on meetings on meetings on meetings about this bullshit. Somebody could have called this long time ago, before the night before.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the moral stance you would think. And then of course there's the booing from the crowd. The crowd doesn't know any of that. They're not in on that part of it. So yeah, it just feels weird. Celebrity shit. I don't understand all of it, and that's okay. But it was an interesting thing to observe that I don't really understand what happened. Also, that FAMU master student that wouldn't be awarded her degree for the IG's photo is bullshit. As an HBCU grad, I also know that they can be conservative as hell, Christian leaning, with some old ass out of touch people leading and spending too much time holding up another Black woman's academic progress.
Yes.
That to me is disgusting. Rod, you commenting to say through the conversation it's her body, but by their action, they are clearly saying it isn't. She doesn't have the right to do with her body what she wants or express herself in the way she chooses, how she chooses. Again, disgusting, but not unexpected to me. Yeah, and I'm not some extremist. Like, there's a level I could understand if, I mean, this is obviously being ridiculous, but I'm saying if she was like spread eagle on the dean's desk or some shit, and you're like, okay, yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
You know, but I think with it being kind of like this Photoshop artsy thing, And the fact that they said nobody was around when she did it, and it wasn't like they heard complaints from the student body, and that's why they did this. It just feels like it was a weird kind of like, you're too free. Don't be up in here doing all this. You know, you're doing too much. And I I get maybe even saying like we think this is inappropriate. I don't get, you're not gonna get the degree that you earned.
That you motherfucking earned. Y'all
That
took
you-
my goddamn money.
That you probably paid us for.
Right.
Like, I think that's doing too much. And like I said, I'm sure it's a slippery slope, and there's some version of this where I would be like, yeah, that you can't do that. Maybe if they was fucking on top of the statue or something, I'd be like, yeah, okay, right. You know what? That's too far.
Right.
But to me, this, this felt like it shouldn't have got this big. Even if you wanted to pull it to the side and be like, hey, that cut it out, it still shouldn't have got this big.
Right.
Because I guarantee someone said to someone else in the leadership at FAMU, we will show her. Show her what? Y'all niggas is dumb and ain't working. And all they did was show they nigga ass for all to see, wasting time and energy and space on nothing. How many dudes did they keep from graduating with their balls out somewhere on IG? I'll wait. No, I won't. For the record, I have no idea what the ball policy is on IG. Okay, can you do that? You can put your balls out? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I feel like you can't, but I hear what you're saying. That it's a double standard somehow. How many fuckers that committed whole ass sexual assault walked their ass across the stage, got a degree without their academic progress being interrupted? Valid. I bet the answer is zero. Somebody at FAMU thought they were doing something by taking this action, saying it with my whole chest. Shame FAMU. Do better and don't get in the way of your graduates. Yeah, and I mean, listen, there probably have been people that didn't get their degrees because of criminal shit. I just don't even put that in the same category,
right,
as this. Like, I just don't feel like what she did was that bad. Now, maybe I'm tripping somehow. Or if I was the one in charge of the school, maybe I would have to think differently because of, boosters or something. Maybe there's some reason to think differently. But me personally, my personal disposition is like, I don't see how this has got to be this big a deal. At best, it's a, hey man, can you just not like like that's all I got for you. Like that, even if I didn't like it, the most I got is like, come on, man. Like, I'm not gonna, can you wait till after graduation to put that up or something? I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you ain't getting no degree. Good luck. Good luck being homeless. You know what I mean? Like, what? Why you care so much? Oh, right. Man. Oh, now everybody gonna be doing it. Like, no, they not.
No,
she clearly is a person that like to be extra. Let her be extra. Extra people deserve representation.
Yeah, they do.
Rod, that white woman in Guess the Race that put the bees on them costs is the 15th member of the Wu-Tang Killer Bees. She is a goddamn supervillain. You heard me? Think about this. She had time to put out a whole beekeeper suit while her bee goons put in work. She probably narrated what she was doing while she was putting in work on the suit and gave away her master plan. Oh, you're allergic? Good. Supervillain bars. Yeah, she definitely got fired from
Batman villain.
Yeah, she definitely got fired from Wayne Tech that morning.
You know she did.
And hatched that plan. EVE says some people are saying that Elon is deliberately trying to tank Twitter by bringing all these right-wing accounts back. But I think they are giving him way more credit than he deserves. He's like Trump. He's an entitled white man with money who thinks they have the answers, and he's finding out the hard way that he's not that smart. But instead of taking advice from the people who know what they're doing, he's white manning this out. He may as well bring Alex Jones back since he brought Kanye and Trump back. He's going to make Twitter worse until he has no choice but to sell it at a loss. Yeah, I do find it odd that the people who defend him every time they come up for a rationalization for what he's doing, he does something that is opposite of what they said. Mm-hmm. And they continue to try to like force it into some narrative of like, no, he's a genius and this is why this is also smart. And all it makes me think is just how easy it is for white people to get the benefit of the doubt. That's what he's the ultimate, like, give him the benefit of the doubt. That what we're seeing is not really what's happening. What's really happening is that he's great at this, and he losing half of the sponsors of Twitter in a month or so. That's just not bad. It's somehow good because it has to be good because he did it.
Right.
Why did they boo Chris Brown was the poll? Because of what he did to Rihanna, 44%. Because of something he did recently that we don't know about, 16%. Because they wanted someone else to win the award, 40%. So very close at the top. And then on Anchor, let's see what the poll said. 50% because of Rihanna is why they think he got booed. 8% because of something he did recently we don't know about. 42% because they wanted someone else to win the award. Yeah, in this one, I'm leaning, I don't know, obviously, but I'm leaning towards they wanted someone else to win the award. The Rihanna thing just feels too far away.
Yeah. I hate to be like this,
for
but it's
these
too
motherfuckers to
old.
just now be mad. It just,
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
I like, especially with there being no online movement. Like normally when something like this happened, it's like, oh, Chris Brown was trending #1 because they found out he was gonna be at the award show. Like it just seemed like the first time this made news was Chris Brown being upset that they pulled his performance. I don't know, y'all, but we'll get into that. Let's check the comments on YouTube. We got 4. S. Carl Thomas says, "Oh, love you guys. I'm listening to the All Star review now. The For All Nerds All Star review that I was on. I'm listening to the All Star review now. I'm leaving my comments here because 1, I totally agree with you and Jay. Sorry, I don't want to misspell her name. And 2, I only listen because you were on it. Love For All Nerds, and sometimes they can get in the weeds of quote unquote wokeness. I cringe writing that, but it best sums up what I mean. I feel Mr. Hotep, no disrespect, but to some disrespect, was looking at
no disrespect, but
was looking at the film through a white gaze because his critiques, other than his definition of villain, were all about how white people would or others would see the imagery and calling out racism. I'm trying not to take up too much of your space responding to their show, but last thing, how did he expect a movie brought to you by colonizing Disney to be extra radical on whites, and in particular the US being filthy colonizers? That we got what we got is an accomplishment, but never good enough. That's all thanks to all you do. Happy Thanksgiving. And it, sorry, should have listened another 30 seconds. And Jay said it. Yeah, Jay, listen. Janice is a real star on that review. She was all over it. There was times I was about to say something and she just jumped in and said something, and I was like, cool, I don't even gotta say it. Like you know what I mean?
Repeat it. And the thing I do love and respect about For All Nerds, it's in the title, For All Nerds. And I know for some people, those people who are quote unquote extrovert could be annoying, but they're nerds too. So they literally welcome everybody to the table.
Yeah, I think Tati and Tatiana and Ben Amin, they see For All Nerds as a hub and a community, and I think they feel a responsibility to have multiple points of view on there and bring it together, and then people hash it out. And I love that they've made a space like that so that I never feel pressure to not be myself. I never go on there with any animosity, and I've never felt any from somebody else, really.
Right.
Even when we disagree, to me, I've never felt disrespected, and hopefully no one's ever felt I disrespected them. I've been passionate, but I've never, called somebody out their name or some shit like that. And I respect the space they set up. And I just think it's run like the way we run our space is more like we wouldn't have a person on that we felt was like, oh, okay, this motherfucker is about to turn this whole thing into something else. We're not gonna have them. But I think sometimes they have those people, and sometimes I think it's important to see those things confronted somewhere. You can do it in person, you can do it face to face, virtually, whatever. But I just think it's very important to see some of these viewpoints that, like, here's your chance to speak for yourself. What is the Recast T'Challa movement? That's an important thing, because I didn't know what the fuck it was till I was on the show with them, because I had paid it no fucking attention. And then you hear one of the people that inspired it or started it all say, here's what it's about. And then that's a good, that needs to happen someplace. So I like that they do that. That being said, I don't normally do community around a lot of nerd content, uh and specifically I don't normally do a lot of like blurred community stuff, and it's not anything personal with blurs. I'm a black person, I'm a nerd, even though I don't really refer to myself as a blur, but
Mm-mm.
um the main problem I have is that the my views on race, racism, and blackness and freedom are normally uh I don't want to I don't know how to say this that won't sound somewhat insulting. Okay? So I'm just going to just have to put this out here and hopefully people don't take it too harsh. But I feel like my point of view when it comes to race um and media is very much like decolonized to a certain. I'm striving for decolonization. I'm striving to not give white people my mind. I do not want the consideration of whiteness to be at the forefront of my enjoyment of things. And as you can tell from our show, which we we have not turned into an explain it to white people show. There's spaces for that. There's people that are good at that like doing that. I don't like doing that. I'm not gonna be black people one-on-one for as a brand. Maybe if a white person writes in or has a question, we could discuss that. But just this default coming out the gate of like it's the black guy tips explaining blackness to whiteness, I ain't with it. I actually don't like that stuff. A lot of times the shows I turn off are the ones that do that.
Agreed.
Then so that's a big thing. The other thing is I think it's a huge burden and very regressive and anti-black and anti-brown and anti-LGBTQ for anybody to insert the fictional white person that doesn't get it as the main focus of what black art should be about, as what media should be about, making sure they get it. Well, what's a racist white person gonna learn? I don't know, because I never gave a fuck about one.
Right.
I'm never going to give them that. If you're telling me something where you can understand it, you get it, and I get it. Why are we inventing an imaginary white person to bring it to the conversation so we can critique something that ain't about them? They took $250 million and made a blackety black ass movie and a brownity brown ass movie. And they would like the media itself did not seem to care about what white people took from it. So I'll be goddamn if I, as a person who this was intended to be made for, am gonna say, but what about them? I don't care. I don't care to be angry at them. I don't care to be sympathetic or empathetic to them. I just don't care. It wasn't for them. It was for me, and I consumed it that way. And I will always consume it that way. And I think so much of the blur, and I'm not talking about just for like, I'm not just saying like for our nerds this way. I'm saying the blurred space in general, TM. So much of it feels so very like race 101. It feels like you're just now having this awakening that not every white person is going to be your friend. Not every white person is good. That what can we do to help fix the white people to make our lives easier? And that seems to be a discussion that so many people have accepted. And then they don't understand the burden they put on black creators because you're telling them to fix an unfixable fucking problem.
Right.
And
they didn't create.
I'll be goddamned if I'm creating something and going, we need to fix the problem of what are the white people, how are we going to make a white person better today? You know, I know at Game Theory when we write shit, I don't be thinking that. I never wrote nothing like, and then like I write shit and be like, if white people don't know the slang, they'll figure it out because context clues, and they always seem to figure out our shit. Someone always putting the shit on Rap Genius or something. So let's just not make that the center. And I think once we get past that, I'm willing to have certain discussions and critiques, but some of the critiques to me are so far-fetched. And then I think as a writer, a lot of the stuff people are complaining about, but they never take the next step of saying, and if they did what I wanted to see, what would the reaction be? They never do that. And they never come out and explicitly say, and I feel like it's cowardice that you don't come out and fully flesh out your idea. Don't just tell me, well, it's not revolutionary enough. Okay, then what would you like to see? Would you like to see this character kill this other character? Would that be revolutionary enough? Would you like to see them attack a bunch of unprovoked innocent people in America? Black and brown people live in America, by the way, but just that you like to see them actually attack and kill a bunch of people in America and they still be the good guys at the end of the movie somehow, even though that's never happened in none of the fucking books. It just be a complete departure. And what do you think the audience response would be? What do you think the who is the good guy and the bad guy in that would be? And also, why have you centered white people learning a lesson in that? What lesson is that supposed to be? I don't even know what that means at this point. So anyway, I've had a fun time. It was a good conversation. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, anytime they invite me on, I go on because I love what they do so much, and it's such a fun show. So yeah, I fuck with them.
And also, it allows people who have these views to be to be confronted on something that's outside of a social media platform, because then you have to elaborate, because questions are asked. You're not just putting something in 140 characters and going post. You're not in these bubbles where everybody agree with you and nothing that you say is ever challenged.
Yeah, and the other thing you have to remember is disagreement to me is healthy. Like, I think there's levels of disagreement. There's like, I don't think black people's lives matter. Well, obviously that's not healthy and we're not gonna talk. But like I had a good DM conversation with my man Ron from PLC Culture about why he didn't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and why I did like it. And we had a good exchange. And I don't think I changed his mind or anything, but I got to see where he was coming from, and hopefully he got to see where I was coming from, and it didn't devolve into bullshit. And one of the reasons that I think some of these people are thrown off when they get into conversation with people like me and people like Janisha is that we're not weird hotep, we're not ignorant trolls, we're not. And so I have sympathy for these folks that choose to make their brand about nerd stuff, especially racial nerd stuff. A lot of them are consistently bombarded with the lowest fucking like troll racist bullshit.
They're not really trying to have conversations.
And so they've been arguing with like recast T'Challa people and stuff. I get why they're like, disagreement. Oh, what does this mean? And I'm just like, no, it just means that you saw it differently or you care about different things than I do. Doesn't mean anybody's wrong or bad. Just you have a different way of engaging these things than I do. That's all.
And also I've just come just in general, when people hear disagreement, they automatically think argument, which automatically make people think it's a negative thing, because me and you, we don't see eye to eye on things and we talk about it. And a lot of times by the time we finish, we go, okay, and everybody moves on. But we've actually had a disagreement and or maybe an argument, but because we're not yelling at each other or saying, nigga, fuck you, bitch, fuck you, kiss my ass, because we're not quote unquote to the extreme, people don't consider it an argument. And everybody thinks an argument or disagreement, you have to quote unquote put on your combat boots and stump somebody out, or you have to put up your fists and be ready to fight. But when they get somebody that's like, hey, you don't have to be defensive, I'm not here to fight you, people don't know how to handle that.
Yeah, I'm willing to say I disagree with somebody and just keep being friends. I think that's the one way that social media has really changed everybody, is the high wire act of disagreeing makes you feel like, and now I'm gonna be cast away. Now I'm gonna be, this person is gonna come out and do whatever to me, as opposed to just, we didn't agree on this thing. I still think that's a good person. I still think they had good points.
Right. And I'm not gonna throw them away as a whole ass human being.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Be happy to talk with that person again. Like I said, it's not every time, but there's a lot of times where that's how I come away with things. So it's like, this wasn't that bad. I don't even know, and you just hope that the other person can respond in kind and see what you're saying. So yeah, for me, I had a great discussion and I ended it with a few more people that I'm like, oh, I'll check out what they're doing.
And I'm glad you listened, baby. Because
Mhm.
I listened too, and it was actually a really fun conversation.
Carrie Moon once said, sweet, sweet poetic justice. He died in a crash because he didn't wear a helmet and fought the helmet laws meant to protect those in that such a situation. Happy holidays. Y'all eat lots. What a weird dude. Anchor, the thing is, it was just acid reflux, y'all. That's the Q&A. BGRS says, I thought I was having heart problems and the doctor told me it's acid reflux. I'm glad it was only that, Karen. Balactus says, not really acid reflux related, but another good place to find sriracha is Amazon Fresh. I'm greedy. I bought 3 bottles. Renee says, woo, I was worried, but I've had that same scare. Roger says, I was getting ready to send unsolicited list of specialists to NC. Thank you for the spoiler. Y'all welcome. Nelson says, I'm just happy to have my fave podcast couple is okay. Aaron says, woo, thank goodness. I thought Karen had heart failure. Also, the winners of the American Music Awards are chosen by the fans by voting on their website. So Chris had the most fans, I guess. Langston says, LOL, I'm sorry, Karen. I'm with Rod on this one. I got scared as soon as you said chest pain. Yeah, I mean, come on. Our audience knows. Our audience knows the rates of black women dying early with heart attacks and shit. Like, this scary as fuck. Raphael says it's a similar type of storyteller to Karen. I could both relate and at the same time I was scared. I guess it's time to change my style. I'll start with, as you can see, I did not die. Then story hustle. Alicia says, I should not have laughed this hard. Karen, we are messed up. I did the same thing to my husband a while back. He was so concerned. It was just acid reflux. Ignacio said, bro, if you ever get that down on the sriracha sauce, holla at your boy. Remember, I live in Thailand. That's where it comes from. I got you. You on some Smeagol shit calling the sauce my precious. It is my precious, though. I was down bad, guys, but I'm back up. Okay, don't worry about it. Everything worked out. Last episode was Glory Hole Mask. That was episode 2637. We got 2 comments, I believe. Let's check these comments out. Appia says, I read an article about the guy who prevented more deaths in the shooting, and it was a good article, I think. This guy was traumatized by war, could react so fast because the war is still in him. So the fact that he is always on the edge was actually helpful here, but it's not helpful in 99.9% of other situations. He tried to improve, but he still has mental problems. He had to get rid of all the guns in his house, for example, because he didn't feel stable around them. Well, number one, that's not good. That's not good. It's a downer news. This is Keith's bummer news from Keith and the Girl. 2, he and his wife have a brewery that's all about diversity and inclusivity. 3, the boyfriend of his daughter, whom he was close to, died in the shooting. What? This is all terrible. What the fuck?
This is Keith's bummer news.
This is terrible news.
He responded like him to what?
Yeah, I don't care if it was written well. I'm tired of these articles. I'm tired of these articles because in America it's part of the cycle, and I don't like this either. I don't like anything about these shootings, any of it. I don't like that anyone has to be a hero. That a person like this is gonna be re-traumatized because we, as a fucking nation, and I mean Republicans and conservatives and gun owners, refuse to get our shit together.
Right.
We've decided this is the cost of living. Is any of us anywhere for any reason at any time could just be killed because fuck it, guns, we need them. Evie says, I'm praying the Swifties take down Ticketmaster before Beyonce tickets go on sale.
Me too. Work this shit out. Let's go.
Because Lord knows I'd like to keep both my kidneys. The poll is, do you think schools are putting litter boxes in bathrooms for kids who identify as animals? Yes, I'm crazy as fuck, or no?
No.
9% of our audience said, yes, I'm crazy as fuck. 93%, 91, 92% said no.
This 9%.
And on Spotify, where they got the good money and the good common sense and degrees, 100% said no.
That was like, we all too smart.
They said no.
That was like, we made our money too good for us to be stupid.
Nicole says on YouTube, Dracaris on that whole fucking with gay people segment, I didn't realize we were playing. Desiree Terrell says, I don't know, but I think they scrapped the tribute, because the interview Chris Brown did a long time ago with Robin Robertson. He threw a whole tirade on Good Morning America on ABC. Correlation is Good Morning America and the AMAs are on ABC. The higher ups at ABC probably said no. That might be it. Like I said, I don't know. That sounds as good as anything to me, I guess. The N Harmon says, "Hey, I'm loving you all. Point of view. Keep up the good work." Oh, what if they boo because he didn't get to perform? I didn't even think about that.
Possibility. Yeah.
I have no idea what happened, guys.
Yeah, you just never know. They may have booed because they was like, we expected Chris Brown. Boo.
I think the conclusion we can come through that makes the most sense is
nobody knows.
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
All right. And then we got comments on the Spotify. You mess with the wrong one, Ticketmaster. James says, just wait till Ticketmaster mess around with Beyonce fans, a bunch of bees, and then hashtag fuck around, find out. Mm-hmm. Raphael says Ticketmaster needs to make their goof CEO make me their goof CEO, pay me the CEO package, and I'll take the fall. By the time I'm done with them after 1 week in charge, Swifties will love me and I'll get paid twice. Raphael always got to hustle.
Yes, that's
always an angle, Raphael. All right, we got voicemails to get to. But first, let me play some bumper music. Infrared Crypto. The voicemail line 704-557-0186. Let's check out who left us voicemails. I think the first is for Katrina.
Hi, Rod and Karen. It's Katrina again. I just wanted to say that yesterday I recorded, I was a guest on the Black Women in Europe podcast by Adrian and Angela, two American women who now live in Europe. They've been on your podcast. I think Angela's been on twice before. And because of you, we got together and had such a great time. I didn't want it to end. The conversation was so good. I didn't know these women. They didn't know me. And I was the first guest that they had on where neither of them knew the guest. But I felt completely relaxed because I thought, I've heard these women on the Black Guy Who Tips, and I trust people who have been on that podcast. And because of that trust that you built up with your audience, I had reached out to them to be on, the podcast earlier this year. And we just really hit it off, and it just felt so warm and so engaging and just lovely and loving. And I'm really excited for the conversation to come out sometime next year. And I just wanted to say thanks for all you do and for being so careful with the people that you have on your podcast, because I'm never in doubt about what kind of people you guys engage with. So I just want to say thanks. I had a really great time, and I do credit you for that in a way. All right. Hope you guys had a great week. Talk to you later.
Thank you. And that's dope.
That's adorable. Thank you.
Yeah, we do try to be considerate of who we have on the show. I mean, we definitely not batting 100%. I can still think of sometimes we had a guest, I'm like, oh man, I regret that. I would
never do that now.
Because sometimes we're just getting to know the people. But I think one thing I can say is by the end of an episode, especially the ones where we interview people, I feel like you know them somewhat. Like you kind of know what because we ask the questions that, and without being mean or salacious, we ask the questions that, give you some semblance of who this person is, and not just they're here to promote a book, So I'm glad that happened. Last voicemail. I don't know who this one's from.
Hey, Rod. Hey, Karen. This is Nikki. I always see you guys on Three Guys On.
Okay. I know Nikki.
On there every Saturday with my little kids. one of the people who are distracting, but calling about RSV. I'm not sure if you remember Rod and Karen last year. My baby of
Yes.
when he was 2 months old, he had RSV and he was in the hospital.
Mhm.
And when he got RSV last year, it was also like how it is now. There's more kids getting it than usual. And my kid and like maybe 3 other people I knew, all of our babies got RSV, and all our babies were between, I'll say, 3 to 6 months old. But only my kid got admitted to the hospital, and that was mainly because I kept going to the hospital because my baby wasn't breathing. I thought he was coughing, but it was him gasping for air, and it came through as a cough.
Oh.
And a lot of my other friends, my other three or four friends whose kids had it, they were just told to get this thing. It's called an owlet. It's this little thing you put on a baby's foot to monitor their breathing. And they said, if it gets below this, then come to the hospital. But, you know, my kid was in the pediatric ICU, PICU, not NICU, because that's newborns, for about a week. And he was on a breathing machine, sedated. And when he came out of it, because he was so little when they had it, they said it was equivalent to like an adult being hospitalized for maybe, they said it was equivalent to like maybe a 30-year-old being hospitalized for 10 years and not eating and being fed through a tube, because my baby was fed through a tube. So at, I think it was like, he was about 2 or 3 months, he had to relearn how to eat. So like he was, I breastfeed. So he had to relearn how to suck again and all of that.
Oh shit, did she get cut off? And she didn't leave a second one. She didn't want to be one of them people. I feel you, sis. But yeah,
but this is one time I was like, the follow up.
Spoiler alert: her baby is okay.
Yes, her baby.
So
for those of you
we see
that
the
don't
baby
know,
all the time.
Yes,
in Three Guys On.
Yes, and if you listen, we get easily distracted by babies and doggies.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad everything worked out. But yeah, that's how scary this RSV shit is, and it's going around, man, and like. The misinformation machine that is cranking back up, because now it's like, ooh, it's time to turn to everybody copy it, Control F, find COVID, replace it with RSV, and start the machine again.
I know. Control C, then Control V, and let's go.
Yeah, now I mean that's very fucking scary, man. All right, let's get to these voicemails, but first, more music. Emails. All right, emails. The first one is from Marlon, who just wanted to remind me that if something happens with, I guess, people's PayPal, sometimes they don't know that automatic payment stop because like your credit card expires or something. And he was saying maybe I should let them know when their card expires, but I think PayPal sends you something. And so I think that's how it is normally gonna be found out. But he went out something funny, which is apparently at PayPal they have a part of it that says you should contact the Blackout Tips podcast to pay what you owe. We don't
we didn't do
we
that.
didn't pick that language.
No.
I don't know how. I guess PayPal is kind of gangster with their shit.
We are not that aggressive. We are like, we understand if you decided to cut, like, this is a bill. Like, we understand.
That's the main reason I don't email or contact someone.
Pay what you owe. That's hilarious.
That's one of the main reasons. The main reason I wouldn't contact somebody if their payment didn't go through, in addition to just, I think PayPal should handle that. I don't want to be, I don't know why people would cancel. It could be an opinion they didn't like, could be money problems they're having, could just be, hey, it's time to move on or whatever. I don't want them to feel some pressure getting this personal email from me like, hey, is everything okay? I saw your payment didn't go through.
And we don't have a collection crew.
Yeah, it just feels like it would be a little too personal, a little too, it could be taken the wrong way. So if I just assume they something happened and I don't need to know what happened. Maybe they're sparing my feelings.
I mean, who wrote that? Rihanna, pay me what you owe me. Don't act like you forgot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start sending them bitch better have my money.
Right?
The Spotify song. I'm just gonna send it individually to each email. You know what this is.
Have my money.
Episode 2631. This is from Christoph, who says, thank you for the relationship advice. My good man Rod, thank you so much for relationship advice. I've been suffering from my lady asking questions in the middle of movies and TV shows for years with no solution. Until this past Sunday evening, as we were watching Queen Sugar, she decided to ask me a question. I paused that shit so fast and proceeded to discuss why Ralph Angel was making another ill-advised life decision. And even after my lady said play the third time, I kept on talking. That's how you do it. You got to see it all the way through. If you see it all the way through one time, it's honestly saving your relationship. Because what she don't know is that every day she is slowly making you miserable with asking you questions that clearly the show is gonna answer. She hasn't interrupted Queen Sugar since, and I can watch my Black excellence uninterrupted. Thank you so much. I love y'all. This is truly the best podcast ever, Christoph. You welcome, fam. You welcome. Okay. Karen has not been asking me those damn questions in the middle of the show since I did that. And that's been like a month and some change ago. And I'm prepared to go back at any time. I don't give a fuck. So,
I don't want them questions. Fuck it.
Let's just keep moving on and watch together. We'll figure it out because I don't know and you don't know.
Nope, nobody knows.
Found this one in election news, says Pamela, who says, you might talk about this and you're not required to read this on air. Oh, then fuck it. What the hell? I don't care. But it's but she said, I read this and was feeling joy, frankly. Language has changed, refused to concede in race she lost, because that is what is real. It's about Carrie Lake, the election denier, who lost, and AP News is like, she refuses to concede in the governor's race. She lost.
It don't matter.
Like they're not, but hold on. No, it do matter.
Oh.
It do matter. Because the AP isn't putting a headline of she refuses to concede, which is how they have been covering shit like this. These election deniers, like, just a difference of opinion. She just don't agree. They said, no, she lost. She refuses to concede. She lost. And I said I was going to be looking at our media this time around, especially when it comes to Trump. Like, how are y'all going to handle this? Because
okay, I'm with you.
Y'all had bet y'all. I'm scared they're going to backslide into. And I mean, they see it one way, the other people see it the other way.
No, bitch, you lost.
Right.
Stop this bullshit.
Voters are now disenfranchised and can't wait at the polls when you lose, despite the county in question allowing voters to go to any polling place in the county, many of which had little to no line and wait times posted online. A Republican chair of Board of Supervisors blames state GOP chair and other prominent Republicans. It is clear to me that those lines were longer because leaders in one political party were spreading misinformation. Don't you mean the very party you're a member of? Why don't you say that shit then? Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man. Republicans asked the judge to extend the hours of polling places because of the issues. The judge declines, saying they presented no evidence that anyone was disenfranchised. Wasn't that what y'all wanted? Love this song. Both of y'all have a great and restful weekend.
Right. Wasn't that what y'all wanted?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Did you have something else to say? I didn't mean to cut y'all, but I was trying to finish my point.
I forgot whatever it was. I'm good.
Okay. Ghost Kitchen. Aaron says, hey, Rod and Karen, I just wanted to let y'all know that I was gonna order Buffalo Wild Wings before going to the movies. I checked out their menu and they had bird dogs on the menu. They not even faking the Ghost Kitchen over here in California. So why did they have to trick y'all into buying their food? That's what I'm saying. They know that ain't right.
They know that shit ain't right. And I shouldn't have to waste my time to Google your goddamn address.
I look to the left. That ain't right. That ain't right. The gift that keeps on giving. Hey, Karen and Rod, this is from Simone, who says, I hope you receive this email after some well-deserved rest. I just wanted to share that you both are the best and it reflects in your listeners. I've been trying to get motivated to do some deep dive cleaning and decluttering before the holidays, but it has been difficult to find the time and energy with work being so chaotic. Today, I went on Apple Music and searched for infrared crypto. After listening to an episode, and I've been blessed.
Come on, infrared crypto.
When I tell y'all I got this sudden burst of energy when Now Blue started and Kryptonite came on right after, I had to get up from my desk, super talented, and every track is a vibe. My home is going to be mom, grandma, and super nosy on their level clean this weekend, including that kitchen junk drawer. Love y'all.
No, you ain't getting the drunk drawer together. What? We didn't have a drunk drawer no more.
Junk drawer, but yes.
Oh, junk drawer.
Yeah, drunk drawer is where you keep the liquor.
Oh, the alcohol. My bad. That's a different type of drawer.
Right. That's but Crown Royal bags and mini bottles from the airline and hotels.
Hey, man, I know the mini bottle ABC stores. Throw them all in there.
The glory hole mask. Aaron says, "Hey, Rod and Karen, this whole Chris Brown situation reminds me of when Normani was in his video for Warm Embrace. A lot of her fans were pissed at her. Some stopped supporting her being a fan and were extremely disappointed and said her career was ruined now. However, most of his fans in general consensus on YouTube comments thought she was fire in the video, and they thought she did super well and became fans of her. So it's like, do we hate him or not?" Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, yo. One of the worst versions of parasocial shit that I don't even comment on this online because I think these people are just fucking crazy, and you've gone off the deep end. But the like, don't be friends with a problematic person that to me that's like such a level of entitlement to these people. I get it, if you don't want to be that fan, that's fine. But there are people that like, I remember. I don't remember if it was Kehlani or like what's the one that Chris Brown used to date? Karrueche Tran. They got
Tran.
Yeah. But she like one of them started dating like a rapper who just happened to be like a kind of ignorant rapper. Like he wasn't necessarily abusive or anything towards her, but he just like he was one of, it's like if you just started dating I don't know, just name a rapper that we're like, I mean, we don't really fuck with him, but he ain't exactly like did nothing to nobody. We just don't fuck with him, right? And I remember her fans or people that claim to be fans being so mad, like, break up with this dude. We don't like him. And when she broke up, they was like celebrating it. But I remember like when she was in that relationship, her being like, what is this coming from? Like, I can't even share this dude on social media. Like, it wasn't like criminal, like, like Nicki Minaj even or something. But even in those cases, that's their personal life.
Right.
If that's who the fuck they love, I don't know shit about they love and their relationship.
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
And if the only thing I know about this celebrity couple is just shit I've seen from afar, it's hard for me to get so invested in that. The same thing happens with Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yes, it does. And Rihanna, and it was ASAP
Rocky.
Yep,
like
thing. Because
that to me, that's high key weird. Like,
yes,
you're a fucking weirdo. You look at these people having like babies together and shit, and there's some part of you that feels entitled to their body and their decisions, like it's just a big reality show and they're playing it to ratings for you. That's too much for me.
Yeah, and it does not make any sense. You want control over them, but you don't want nobody to have control over your life. Get out of here.
And like, I'm not even on some like, because they don't make decisions. No, Normani probably thought it would be cool to be in this video for whatever reasons she had. She got to live with the backlash of that. I get it, but it's weird to me to have a lot of backlash for that. But also, I mean, I'm older and I grew up in a generation where like people collab with folks that it was just understood they made a song together. That doesn't make them best friends.
Right. That's it. They just made a song together.
Yeah.
The end.
Like they thought this would be cool for an album or something. Like the idea of like, and that means when you like, they back up everything this person said or done is just such an internet thing.
It definitely is, because that shit don't function in real life. It's stupid.
Yeah, it didn't used to work that way. Maybe that's gonna be the way of things. Anthony says, so there I was feeling Sriracha plight, knowing how my Maryland born ass be ordering all the mambo sauce and Old Bay things I can get living in my white ass Kansas. Then we got Karen talking about my chest hurts, but let me get these jokes off. And Rod is like, no, Karen, we too old for these jokes. I relate to Rod's reaction so much. That's the type of shit that makes y'all feel like family. I'm sure this will be read after the holiday, so happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all know. Ironically, it's probably from putting too much sriracha and stuff. Okay, Karen getting acid reflux. Lastly, this is from John. GOP bullshit, porn, gym, etc. Good morning, Rod and Karen. Happy Thanks Garland Day. Did you see that this dude Jack Smith, who was appointed special counsel, was out here sending in memos to counter Trump's bullshit on Thanksgiving Day? According to his former colleagues, this guy's an absolute prosecutorial beast. I love it, straight into my veins. Yeah, all that dude need now is like an eye patch. That's the only thing that can make that dude look more like a problem.
This is the dude that's overtaking the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't pick him for no fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
They picked him because they said he's a motherfucking beast.
And I'm just not into the doom scrolling, naysaying niggas on social media that are trying to convince me that nothing's gonna be done to Trump and Merrick Garland don't give a fuck and all this. I'm just not doing it. They've been saying that shit for a couple of years, and every time he comes out and proves that he's working on this and they're wrong, they never retract anything. They might stop for like a day or two, and then they go right back to the sky's falling. And that kind of anxiety and negativity and depressing bullshit is just not the vibe I want in my life right now.
No, me either. And I have truly, not everybody, but a percentage of these people, I've come to the conclusion it's an addiction. You like the feeling, and so you consistently stay irritated and agitated and in that realm because it actually gives you a high that you become addicted to, because other than that, the behavior makes no sense.
Rod, I have to give you a major golf clap for the expression outrage flopping is just too perfect and really nails so much of the activity on Twitter. Well, I didn't come up with that phrase. I got that phrase from the firestarter.com podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They brought it up, and I think it's perfect. It fits so many things, especially like political Twitter, a lot of the social movement stuff that happens, a lot of the a lot of the intersectional groups where people have different versions of marginalization, and it just becomes about which one can be offended the first.
Right.
And so it's just like the NBA where there's flopping, and it's like, if I flop first, it's like you fouled me. And it's like, okay, well now I gotta flop when you come, and it's so unproductive. The story about the woman who got canceled for racist shit more than a decade ago was hilarious. They only found her old tweets because she was actively calling out racist bullshit nowadays. Like, she did everything that a person is supposed to do to change and be better going forward, and people were like, nope. What makes it even funnier is that you just know the people who still insist she needed to be fired probably talk a big game about restorative justice. That's my new crack, is watching people yada 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 they own restorative justice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't remember who it was, but there was someone on Twitter. Oh, so there's this black woman who got killed. Well, allegedly, right? I don't know all the stories, all the links. But this woman that was she went on vacation with supposedly a group of friends and ended up being dead. Her friends said it was just some alcohol poisoning type shit, but the coroner's report made it seem like it was definitely some blunt force injuries and it looked shady. And then there's a video that leaked of one of the quote unquote friends beating her up as she was naked in a hotel room, and the person recording it was supposed to be a friend, possibly saying like fight back, and not doing shit to help. And this is very disgusting, and whatever happened down there, it was shady and should be looked into.
Yes.
But I saw people say shit like, well, for this case, I'm not an abolitionist. They need to be in prison, or they need to get the death penalty, or they need to go to jail. And here's what I'm saying. Matter of fact, let me look up her name because I want to make sure I got this right.
Correct. Yeah, because and this has been a story that people have been covering. I think it's a story even the Justice Department or one of them departments said they're getting involved in, because if there's something's not right.
They just put out an arrest warrant in it. Her name is, I believe, Shanquella Robinson. So here's what I have to say about that. While you find this to be the exception to where you're like, I would like to see a prosecutor, I like to see jail time. I like to see investigation. I like to see something done to these people if they went down there and killed her or had some sort of foul play that ended in her death and tried to cover it up. Everybody is somebody Shanquella Robinson.
Right.
Everybody. So that's why a lot of this shit will never work. Y'all aren't forgiving. Y'all think it's funny to mock Michelle Obama saying that we go high and take the high road. Y'all love to say you take the low road. These cannot coexist in a place where we're gonna go the high road all the time as a society and as a justice system. So it's until that happens, it's bullshit. Because I know if someone kills my loved one, I'm not gonna be whatever the fuck peaceful about this shit. Like, oh, well, you know,
I can't promise I'm gonna be reasonable.
Yeah, I don't know why people act like that's some just like it's all just theory there. So I think that's funny is to watch these people and when they decide that restorative justice isn't the solution, because it's never the solution when you can kind of see yourself in the shoes of the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, you know, you can retweet these accounts that talk that shit all day, but at the end of the day, them ain't nothing but retweets.
Right.
You are not trying to go through this system of educating your abuser or whatever the fuck it is, and you know it. So get out of here.
Right.
The thing about this whole kids identify as cats bullshit is that if that really was the case, how come Republicans aren't just passing laws to specifically address it? They could very easily legislate that schools can't allow kids to identify as anything other than humans. Obviously, the answer is that it's just a silly, slippery slope.
Right.
Excuse to pass broader laws that will harm LGBTQ kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how they always claim that their concerns about same-sex marriage were all about preventing the inevitable case of someone wanting to marry their dog. Another ridiculous scenario that never happened in real life, but was used to justify denying gay people rights and respect. Yeah, what's even funnier is like a lot of times the conservative people will go out and try to be the case. So they'll be like, I'm going to marry my dog so we can get this case in the Supreme Court. You know? So stupid. The porn gym sounds kind of awesome. Imagine all the squat, snatch, and clean and jerk happening in that joint. On all the serious note, I want to thank you both for giving me the gentle reminder to get my own eyes checked after years of skipping exams. After 48 years, I'm finally getting some reading glasses, but I also learned that I need to wear sunglasses more to protect the type of UV damage that I'm greater risk of. As someone with blue eyes who spends a lot of time in the sun, you may have legit helped me keep me from going blind.
Yay!
Finally, Karen, never forget that you are a strong, proud Black woman and your voice and opinions and questions matter. So just keep asking questions that will inevitably be answered in the next 10 to 30 minutes by whatever show or movie you are watching. No matter what the man or anyone who happens to be sitting beside you says, Massage Noir, LOL. Hope you both have a great holiday and breaks. Cheers and stay safe, John.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, I had to block John from sending any more emails. Very strange to me too. I think it's just something wrong with the Gmail. You won't be getting any more. All right, y'all. We'll be back once again the next few weeks. Will probably be, 1 or 2 episodes a week, and then probably do feedback sporadically and stuff. But thanks for everybody who took the time out to leave some feedback and that listens to the show. Until next time. Oh, don't forget to check out our Black Friday sale. It's still going on.
It's to the second.
Yeah, a lot of y'all are gonna auto renew anyway. So I'll probably just speaking to the choir at this point. But
if you're not sure, email us.
If you're not sure, you can email me, all that stuff. So all right, until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye everybody. Have a good one.